So, you're probably curious about this, like, big change in AP psychology, right? I mean, it's not like every day that a high school course changes so drastically.
Yeah, this is a big one. And it's not just like changing the syllabus up a bit. This is about how we even understand psychology, like at a deeper level.
Totally. It's like a whole new way of thinking about the field.
Yeah, exactly. It's about bringing how high schoolers learn psych closer to what's actually happening in universities, in research.
Okay, so let's get into it. What exactly did the College Board announce?
So they announced big changes, like major revisions to both what's it called? Oh, yeah, the course framework and also how the AP exam is structured too. Starting in, let me get this right, the 2024-25 school year.
Wow, so that's coming up fast.
It is. And these changes are like coming straight from the top. Like the American Psychological Association, the APA, recommended them.
Oh, wow. So they really got the experts on board with this.
Oh, yeah, this wasn't some random decision. It was a long time coming.
Makes sense. So, like, why make these changes now? Like, what was the impetus?
Well, think of it like this psychology is always changing, right? Like we're learning new things all the time.
Yeah, totally.
So these revisions are all about making sure that how we teach psych keeps up with the latest research and the way we understand the field now,
Yeah, that makes sense.
Like one big example is this new focus on teaching psychology as a science, which is a huge part of these changes.
Well, that, I guess, interesting. I remember when I took AP psychology, it definitely felt more like, I don't know, social science class. So what does it even mean to think about psychology from this, like, more scientific perspective?
That's a great question. It really comes down to recognizing that, like, studying the mind, it involves really rigorous scientific methods. We're talking about analyzing data, looking at all the biological stuff and like the neurological underpinnings of behavior and all
It's
that.
brain imaging and stuff.
Exactly. And studying cognitive biases. We're really trying to understand the why behind like everything we do, all our thoughts and feelings. And we do that at a deeper level now, a much more like empirical level.
So we're moving past just Freud and analyzing dreams then.
Haha. Well, not completely. Freud's still important, but it's about finding a balance. See, the new curriculum, it recognizes that psychology is both a social science and a hard science.
Whoa, that's so cool. So it's like this dual identity.
Right. And that's important because it changes how we approach everything from like mental health to relationships, even stuff like marketing.
Well, in marketing, I never thought about that. But yeah, when you think about it, persuasion and all that, that's
Yeah.
totally psychology.
Exactly. And
Okay.
that's a perfect example of why this whole curriculum shift matters. It's about giving students a more accurate, more like well-rounded understanding of what psychology is and how much it impacts literally every part of our lives.
It really does.
Yeah. And it's not just what we're learning about, but how we learn it too.
Right, the whole exam is changing up too, right?
Yep, they're overhauling it.
Okay, tell me they're getting rid of those multiple choice questions.
Not entirely.
Come on, those were brutal.
Oh no, I know. But there will be fewer of them, that's for sure. And they're going to be designed differently. It's not just going to be like spitting back facts.
Oh, thank goodness.
Yeah.
So it's going to be more about what, like applying the concepts?
Exactly. Thinking critically. They really want to see that you get it, not just that you can memorize.
Makes sense. So less rote memorization, more like real world thinking.
You got it. And here's the big thing, more emphasis on free response questions.
Ooh, interesting. Tell me more about that.
So it's not enough to just know the stuff. You have to show you can use it, analyze situations, maybe design a research study, that kind of thing.
Wow, so they really want you to think like a psychologist.
100%. That's the
Yeah.
whole point.
That's pretty cool. So it's a lot to take in for teachers too, right? Like how are they
Yeah.
going to get ready for all this?
Oh, for sure. But the College Board's actually doing a ton to help them out.
Well, that's good to hear.
Yeah, they're not just like throwing teachers to the wolves here. They're offering a bunch of free resources, like updated AP daily videos. Those are awesome.
Yeah, those are super helpful, especially when you're short on time.
Right. And get this, hundreds of practice questions so teachers can see what the new exam is like, help their students get ready.
That's awesome. It sounds really comprehensive.
It is. Oh, and they completely redid AP Classroom.
No way.
Yeah.
That's such a good resource.
Right. It's got this giant question bank now. Teachers can like create their own practice assignments, quizzes, whatever they need.
They have everything all in one place now. That's amazing.
It's all right there. Easy to find and free for teachers and students.
Oh, that's awesome. What about textbooks? Are those going to be totally useless now?
That's what everybody's worried about. But you know what? They actually still work.
Phew, that's a relief.
Right. It would be a nightmare otherwise. But of course, publishers are updating stuff.
Yeah, I gotta stay current.
Exactly.
Hmm.
So there'll be new books and materials coming out that are even more aligned with the new curriculum.
Makes sense. So it's kind of like a mix of old and new.
Yep. The best of both worlds.
Love it. Okay, so when is all this going down?
Well, it's already started, kind of. Like right now, there's training for teachers at the AP Summer Institutes.
Oh, right. So teachers can get a head start.
Yep, exactly. They get to really dive deep into the new stuff with experienced AP Psych teachers.
That's awesome. So they can feel really prepared come fall.
Exactly. And then let me check my notes. July. July's the big month.
Ooh, what happens in July?
That's when all those new resources I was talking about, like the practice questions, the updated AP classroom materials, it all becomes available.
Oh, so it's like Christmas in July for psych teachers.
Basically. Everyone's going to be so excited.
Yeah, it's huge. Okay, so then what? When do students actually start learning this new stuff?
Fall 2024. So teachers have the summer to get their ducks in a row.
Get those lesson plans ready, incorporate those new resources.
Yep. It's going to be a whole new world.
A whole new era of AP psychology. And then, of course, the new AP exams launch in May 2025.
Right on schedule. It's going to be exciting to see it all come together.
Totally. It's such a cool time to be into psychology.
It really is. And, it's not just about the exam itself. It's about, like, the bigger picture,
Yeah.
giving students the tools to really understand what psychology is all about.
Right. It's not just about memorizing terms for a test. It's about understanding yourself and everyone around you better.
Exactly. And maybe even getting some people excited about psychology as a career. Who knows?
It really is kind of revolutionary when you think about it.
It really is like a fundamental shift.
Totally. You know what's really cool about all this? It's like this whole AP psychology update, it's like a little tiny version of this, I don't know, a bigger change happening in like society.
Oh, absolutely. 100%. It's like we're finally moving past this either or thing. Like it's either your biology or are how you were raised, either nature or nurture.
Yes, exactly. And realizing that it's like always both. It's this super complex mix of stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And understanding all that, how our brains work, those biases we have, even just how we decide things. That's not just for like scientists in a lab anymore. It's for everyone.
Right. It's knowledge that can help everyone. Like just think about mental health for a second.
Okay, yeah, huge topic.
Right. What if like this more scientific approach to psychology, what if it changes how we see mental health altogether?
Oh, that's interesting because it's not just about like going to therapy or taking meds anymore, right?
Exactly. We're starting to get a grasp on the brain chemistry involved, the genetic part of it, the social stuff, all those environmental triggers. It's like way more complex now.
Which could lead to what, like treatments that are more personalized, more effective ways to help people.
Yeah. And hopefully less stigma around mental health, which would be amazing.
Totally. And it's not just mental health, is it? Like, think about relationships.
Oh, for sure.
If we could really use what we know about attachment styles, communication, how to resolve conflicts, all that stuff, it's all psychology.
Yeah.
And we could use it to have better relationships, stronger connections.
Imagine that. No more cheesy self-help books. Well, maybe some. But you get the idea, right?
Totally. It's like empowering. Okay, so mental health, relationships. What about education itself? Could all this change how we teach and learn too?
Think about it. There's tons of research on learning styles, how our brains develop, what makes us motivated, even just how to manage a classroom. It's all psychology. And if we could like use those findings better, we could have schools that are way more engaging, more inclusive, really set up for each student's needs.
Man, that would be incredible. Every student feeling challenged but also supported. Like learning could be fun.
Right. That's the dream. It shows you how powerful this stuff is, using psychology to solve real problems.
Okay, last one for you. And it's a bit out there, but artificial intelligence. Where does psychology fit in with all that AI stuff?
Oh, that is an interesting one. Well, like the whole point of AI is to, copy human intelligence, right?
Right, make computers think like us.
Exactly. So we have to understand how WE think, how we learn, solve problems, even how we feel emotions. And every time we understand the human mind a little better, because of neuroscience, cognitive science, psychology, all that knowledge is going to shape the future of AI.
So it's like psychology is almost like, I don't know, the key to making AI work, but also to making sure we use it ethically, responsibly.
Right. It's a huge responsibility, but also incredibly exciting. Like, we're shaping the future.
Totally. So we've gone deep on this AP psychology transformation, and it's obvious this is way bigger than just one course changing.
Huge implications. It's about how we see ourselves, how we understand the world.
And this is like just the beginning,
Oh, yeah, we're just getting started.
So to everyone listening, think about this. What are you going to do with all this new understanding of psychology? How are you going to use it in your own life, your work, your relationships? There's so much potential here, and we can't wait to see what you all come up with. Until next time, keep those minds curious.